on a side note, my wife is out of town this weekend, so this whole project I'm doing, she's going to come home hopefully to most or all of it done. And I'm hoping the reaction will be good. She's wanted me to do it for a while, but we were going to kind of test it out. As I'm going, I really like it. I think she will. So it'll be a good surprise for her. As I've been grabbing these pieces, I'm just kind of looking at both sides, seeing which side I think might look better. Some of them are more rusty than others. I think I'd rather have almost a little bit less rust on the top. I like the shiny and the rust. Nah, I don't want it to look too rusty. So this side right here, I think is the side for me. And the ends, one end seems to be more rusty than the other, which is that end. So I'm going to cut that end off. Go with this end. Okay, time to get the gloves, glasses, angle grinder back in my hand, and quick zip this off. Okay, it's time to go back in and test it, see which end's going to go on top and bottom with the last panel. Trick off the burrs on the one end. Yeah, let's do it. So, halfway through the cutting process on this panel, this 14-inch one that goes that way, I realized since it goes thin to thicker that I should have paid attention to my metal to see which side I did want showing, if there was a more pleasing, aesthetically pleasing side. But now I'm forced to leave it one way because it does get thicker on the one end, and I do want the factory edge at the bottom. I guess if I don't like it, I can flip it over to see how straight I cut the other one, but I prefer the factory one on the bottom because it'll look cleaner. You can't really see the edge up underneath the cabinet, so let's see how it fits. Let's see if I can tell by just looking. Yeah, this end's thicker. Now, it'll work just great. Maybe. I think I actually will tuck this panel I just cut underneath the last one, because my screws are right on the edge of the last one, and this one won't be screwed clear till over here. Rather than having this end flimsy, I'm going to actually loosen up the one screw I put in and tuck this one underneath it. And then I'll make my marks for my outlet. There it is, right in front of me. And the pen right in front of me too. Now, just from measuring, I'll be able to tell which side of the outlet the stud is on. And again, the box is screwed to the stud, so if I go 16 inches, it's going to be on this side, so I already know where it's at. And what I decided to do is just put the tape here and mark the sides of the outlet and then put the panel over the top of it in place, and then I can just mark the panel where I know the outlet is and cut it out that way. I think it'll be close enough that with the wood that I'm putting, the trim I'm putting around the outlets, that it'll be great. So let's do it that way. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, I marked it. I'll get you a little bit closer. So you won't be able to see, but I put the marks on the tape where the size of the outlet was. I marked the metal. And again, the outlet itself is, I'm guessing, the perfect amount. Off of the counter. That I won't have to leave any metal on the bottom. I think it's about 1 inch. Yeah. This one's a little bit more, but there's still no room to try to do anything with the metal. It'll just have that wood trim going around it. I cut some wood down to 1 inch square, so it's 1 inch thick, 1 inch wide. I'm gonna paint it black. Yeah. So let's take this metal out and cut out the slot for the outlet. So, just as a little side note, if anyone actually watches this video and gets some pointers because they're going to do some metal on their backsplash, I've meant to say all along, be real careful with the metal as you're going in and out of the kitchen. It's real easy with the sharp edges or the edges to scrape the cabinets, take some paint off cabinets or wall. So just as you're putting it in and out, be careful with it. So let's go ahead and mark the outlet on this next piece, and we'll go back in and test fit it. And I've already marked in the wrong spot. Get it on the right side of the line. I did that intentionally. Now I can get my square straight. Okay, all cut out, go back in, put it in place, measure, see if the outlet is spaced right for the wood trim. And I'm blocking your view, but I'm going to take a quick measurement right here. See if I got about 1 1/8 on both sides, and enough that if I put the wood trim in there, I maybe have a 1/16 around the cover plate, 1/16 around where the metal meets. Close enough that it'll look tight, no one will notice any gaps or issues, but big enough that I'll be able to get the cover off. So, I'm not as good as I thought I was. Over here on this side, I have about 1 3/8 of a gap. I was looking for 1 1/8, so I got a 1/4 big, but not bad enough that I don't think I can compensate by sliding the metal a little bit over underneath the other panel, evening out my gap, and still with the wood make it look alright. So I'm not going to go through the effort of cutting a whole new panel for that. Be more careful. Alright, I've got the next piece that we're working on outside. It's dark out now, so you're not going to see, but I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Going to put it up on the garbage can, paint it with clear coat. One thing I did do different this time is when I took it out to clean off the rust a little bit, break off the loose stuff, make it a little bit better to paint. The kitchen scrubby I was using just fell apart, and that metal is kind of rough on everything. I ended up getting one of these squishy sanding blocks. It's got a certain grit on one side, and I actually took it off real well, broke off all the rust that was going to fall off easier, wipe it all down, get it ready for paint for the clear coat. And I'm going to go out and do that now. Just a recommendation. This would be good. Just regular old sandpaper I think would be good too. And we'll do that. I'll paint it a few times. I'll bring it back in. We'll put it up. We'll mark the holes, drill them, attach it. We'll keep on going around the wall. Well, what do you think so far? I'm liking it. I slid this panel over so I have an even gap on both sides of the plug, and it turned out about right. I cut it a little bit too big on one side for where the panel was supposed to be, but you just learn how to deal with those things or redo it. So I've already taken a measurement. I know how big the little small one in the corner is supposed to be. I'm going to go out, work on that.